Good evening. Welcome to a live stream. We're talking crypto, we're talking real estate. I'm in Bogota, I'm in Medellin, I'm in Colombia. Where are you guys? Lots going on. Lots going on. We need quick information. We need to know what's happening. So I'm gonna be doing a bit more of these lives. How's things going? Tonight we're talking real estate, we're talking crypto. Jump on in here. I am about to launch my $1,000 to $10,000 challenge in crypto. So I'm going to be doing some research while I wait for my Rappi. Maybe you guys are also looking to make some cash in crypto. Let's what are you guys into? What's going on? What do you think? To turn 1K into 10K, what's the plan? NFTs? Are we doing NFTs? Are we going to try to flip some NFTs? Or is it too late? Have we missed the pump? Are we looking for the next hype cycle? Maybe play to earn NFT gaming. Maybe we go to Solana for the NFT marketplaces there as opposed to the OpenSea on the Ethereum because it's pretty choked out. What are we at? $300 gas fees to mint an NFT. Ethereum 2.0 is lagging. What's going on? What's up, Sebastian? Cheyenne. Sebastian Land. Miguel, greetings in Los Angeles. All right, Sebastian, let's look at land. I haven't heard of land. Right now, pretty much all of my bags are growing. Like, I'm super stoked. I had to sell some of my bags this year because I had to cash out some crypto. Didn't want to do it. Solana was one of the bags that I had to sell out actually. It turns out I'm really comfy looking for this stuff, finding this stuff, identifying the growers. If you guys want tips on some coins, ask away. Let's do this. It took me about a year to identify what I truly want to do. Now that I could do anything, when we have more choices, we make less decisions, right? So I thought long and hard about it, and I want to continue going on adventures. I want to continue going on adventures into the digital and into the physical. I'm out here in Bogota documenting a cash flowing Airbnb investment in La Candelaria. Because that's what, even as much as this digital realm is booming, we have to understand the digital can disappear at any time. So how do we take profits? How do we secure profits? One, into stable coins. Two, into long-term staking coins. But then how about we get just off the digital? There seems to be increasing amounts of news sources saying that a solar flare is going to wipe out technology. It seems to be, a possibility that we should consider as we go deeper into the digital, as we believe more in the value of the digital and its infrastructure that it's going to be providing for this, for our civilization. I think we need to be more invested and believe. I guess we need a fail-safe. Let's say we lose the internet. Let's say we lose electricity. How are we going to live? What systems do we have in place? The more we become dependent on the digital, the more independent of the digital we need to become. Otherwise, we're going to get caught with our pants down in some type of solar flare. And so let's scout profits. Let's scout profits from the digital into the physical. So what does that look like? Real estate is the old favorite, right? And that happens to be something that I've been working in for a long time. A lot of you guys are also in real estate, so that's where I'm going. I'm going to be identifying cash flowing investments uh, in the digital and in the physical. In the digital, we're talking digital assets. They're going to be cryptocurrencies, crypto tokens. They're going to be, websites, any type of digital real estate where our attention is, there is value. And then in the physical, I'm going to be focusing specifically on cash flowing Airbnb investments because those are higher yields. Those are the types of Airbnb properties that if we're not renting them out, we can live in them ourselves. There's a lot of different niches. I love real estate because you can do everything. And I'm actually going to be vlogging tomorrow with a couple guys doing some interesting renovations around town. And that's great. But when it comes to what I'm going to be focusing on in terms of something I can offer to the world, it's going to be investments that improve your lifestyle and generate cash flow. So that's kind of where I'm going. In the digital, let's look at land. What's going on with land? Oh, okay. Landbox is a blockchain real estate project established based upon professional experiences in the existing real estate development education industries. Okay, nice. I've been looking out for some good ones. Let's take a look at their chart. They've just had a massive drop. What happened in March? They've gone to zero. It looks like they're done. What happened? Is it just my chart or is land kaput? I was following Labs. Labs was a group out of the Philippines. They had a mission to tokenize fractional real estate. I'm going to check in on them. LABS. Labs, they're hanging in there. They're struggling. They're not off the ground yet. It's easy to talk a big talk in crypto, eh? Like there are people raising tens of billions of dollars from a white paper and a website, a Google document and a website. People are raising tens of billions of dollars. It's storytelling. And if people believe that story, then the money flows in. And a lot of these people come in with these groups come in with big hype and big stories, but they don't deliver. And that's what, that's what we got to figure out. Who's actually going to pull off some of these projects. So right now the hype, where is it? It's in NFTs and it's in Solana. What's next? I think play to earn gaming is a big one. I've got my eye on the UFO token just because it's a fun story. They have, a big vision, a big project, and they seem to be part of the marketing team, and it is marketing, right? Like these coins grow based on their network. Like the more people that know about it, it's the same vision, same story, but the further that story spreads, that's where a large part of the growth in crypto is coming from pure speculation, pure hype about the potential of certain coins. And that's certainly something to ride, but in a downturn, in a correction, those are the ones that disappear the most because they're pure. It's like that's when we realize, okay, what actually has value, or was I just part of, did I just have FOMO, right? So, okay, Dogs Unchained for NFTs, interesting. Charitable NFTs doing things for shelter dogs. Let's check them out. They'll probably be on OpenSea, I'm guessing. But at $300 to mint, that's not going to be, Ethereum. They're taking too long. Everyone's copy and pasting. They're forking. Solana's get some fast speeds. Dogs Unchained. Let's see here. So 1K to 10K. How am I doing it right now? I think I'm going to be doing 500 into Hex, and I'm going to stake Hex because it is booming, and I think Hex is pre-viral, and I think Hex provides real utility. I'm going to put half into Hex, and I'm going to put the other half into NFTs. And I think I'm going for play to earn gaming NFTs. but I may go in, dabble into some drops here and get in. Interesting. Some cool dogs. Okay, nice, cool. Dogs Unchained. I'll have to look into that. What do you reckon? What's the fastest way to turn 1K into 10K? Have you heard of Gala Games, creating an NFT play-to-earn ecosystem for blockchain games? Okay, so there's a lot of these meme coins that are now realizing that the narrative, the hype narrative, is turning towards play-to-earn games. So now instead of making a meme white paper and Safe Moon and reinventing tokenomics from old scams, they're now turning it into, oh, we're creating a metaverse, we're creating a game where everyone can do this, and you can make these trailers for games very easily. You can go to Upwork and go to Fiverr and get someone to design a game trailer for you. This is going to be a super difficult space to navigate to determine truth from fiction, because especially it's even harder to navigate because once any one of us own a coin and we ask about, oh, have you heard about this coin, have you heard about this, we inherently are shilling that coin, and I guess that has to be okay, but we need some type of transparency. Whenever we say that, we have to disclose what we're involved in. So I do plan on doing that. I've been burned by contracts changing behind closed doors by the lack of transparency. And my mission right now is to find contracts that are transparent and immutable, and that don't change, and that they do what they're going to say they do. If you've been following my stuff for a while, you'll know why I am on that mission. In crypto, that is possible. These contracts, when you own a crypto, you are signing a contract, and that contract is visible. It's just that we don't even know how to read them yet. We're trusting other people who know more than us to do that. To do due diligence on a coin like Hex, we need to go into the Ethereum smart contract and understand how the algorithm is unfolding those tokens depending on what we tell it to do. Hex, for example, if you say, I'm not going to touch this term deposit for 6 months, for 6 years, whatever it is, you get a certain amount of shares, and you're agreeing to a contract with an algorithm, and it should be untouchable. Like, there's no human interference in the entire process. You don't need a bank. You don't need a bank teller. You don't need to do any of that stuff. You're literally, as you get the tokens and you stake them, you're interacting and creating contracts with that blockchain. This is fascinating stuff. So who can actually say, okay, this is what you're agreeing to, this is what you're not agreeing to. That's where we need to filter through the noise. We need to to do proper due diligence on these coins. We need someone who is very technologically adept, as well as legally adept, to be able to explain to you in layman's terms what you're actually agreeing to. For now, I'm finding people as close to the source as possible, who I can outsource my trust to in many ways, to be able to make that determination. Now, if they own the coin that they're also analyzing, they're inherently shilling. So this is where it gets really complicated, because we're going to have to find independent voices in these spaces. What's up, Cesar? Good night. Have you heard Gala? So Gala, okay, thanks for these tips. I'm going to check into these Gala games. I'll check them out. Illuvium is obviously pretty exciting in terms of the play to earn scene. It's incredible what that token has done. There are countries, and it seems like play to earn is huge, especially in Asia. Like, there are large communities, like low-income communities, that are dedicating their time, full time, to playing games and making a living from it. We've seen that kind of in Second Life before. Now with NFTs and the blockchain-based games, it's going to get nuts. We're going to have it's an entire economy. Like, this is unreal what's happening. So, after so many years in real estate, it was, it's been great. But when when the competition is between, oh, instead of 3%, we're going to get you 8%, and it becomes this race to give you the highest ROI, it's like, and I'm looking at what's happening in the crypto space, I can't ignore this anymore. And, you know, I grew up in the internet and computers. I'm going to do my best to share what I find along the way. And I've had some good successes so far, but as I go forward, I'm going to be making sure to document what I'm doing, so that if I have successes, then I'm going to be sharing them with you. So, um, Miguel, online work tips while traveling in Colombia. The bigger cities have good internet. Once you're out, the further you go away from the cities, your internet is less reliable in general. Travel light, you're only as independent as the tools that you are dependent upon. I wouldn't travel more than, 2 or 3 months is kind of the minimum pace to stay somewhere. I've finally stopped moving around, and I've finally been able to go deeper and more productive because I've stopped moving. I've set up a studio. I've been able to develop a routine. Routine is important. Like, the routine is a thing that keeps you productive. If you're changing environment every few days or every week, you're establishing a new routine, and that's a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of time. So depending if you're in a building phase or you're just in a light work kind of maintenance phase, it will depend on how fast you move and in what type of environment, right? So Bogota, everyone's going to work. You've got that 9 to 5, workflow. There's a lot of productive people in town. Santa Marta, it's more chill, laid back, coastal vibes. It's hotter. You're not going to get into you're not going to find a big hustle vibe there, right? Whereas if you go to Medellin, you will find that amongst like the people who are kind of digital nomads in Medellin. There's a very crypto friendly hustle vibe in Medellin. So some things to consider about. If I left Colombia, where would I go? I would check out a couple places. I'm thinking Brazil, I'm thinking Mexico, I'm thinking Ukraine. What's up, Nico in Australia? Hope you're doing well. Elliot, can I go high level over my crypto portfolio? Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going I'm going hyper aggressive. For 8 years, if you don't know, I worked in real estate, but I was building a company, and I sacrificed my salary to reinvest in the company, and we did really, really well. But now that it was due to mismanagement and a pandemic, I don't have too much to show for it. So I'm pretty much starting from scratch in a lot of ways. But what an opportunity to bring a lot of people on the ride. I haven't had a job for the last year, but it's been my crypto investments that have allowed me to actually live better than I ever have in Colombia. So high level, I would say biggest bag right now, because of the action in the last couple of weeks, is Hex. I'm going to be diving deeper into this one. It's a funny one. It's a finished product. It's an algorithm that you interact with. And it's doing really well. Lots of X's right now. So check out Hex. I think it is going to serve as a CD product, a cash deposit. Usually you tell the bank, hey, I'm not going to touch this money for a year. You can make money from it, and you can pay me a bit of interest. And right now they're paying 0.6% a year. It's ridiculous. Hex will pay you 40%. Variable, and then the actual token is increasing because everyone's like, this has utility in a market full of hype cycles. This is what I believe we're going to macro view of what's happening in crypto. We're realizing, oh shit, the future is digital. Hype, and then it gets a little too much, and it's like, okay, maybe $90 billion for a product which isn't functioning yet is a little above expectations. So we recorrect to reality a little bit. Then we're hyping up, then we correct. We hype, we correct. But the trend is that as more and more of our real world infrastructure is being integrated upon these crypto tokens. So I look for tokens that are early, that have real integrations, that have a lot of room to grow. I'm not looking at, if I was conservative, if I had a really conservative portfolio, I'm going 20% aggressive stuff and 80% into the Bitcoin, Ethereum type coins. Because I'm going hyper aggressive right now, because I want to go balls to the wall in everything I'm doing right now. I'm going 80% aggressive, 20% less. I'm very bullish on the space. And this bull run, this bull cycle, I'm going to be scalping more profits and taking those profits. Because as quick as it goes up, it can go down. So the idea is to scalp on the way up. My favorite bags. Let's go. One. I've had that one for a while. Just ONE. Very good. They create their interoperability. So they help different chains communicate. XRP. I think something's up with XRP. The government is paying a lot of attention to XRP. The asymmetrical upside to XRP is just too much to ignore. I've got a bag there because I'm like, I know something's going on. XRP, it's in some of those World Economic Forum documents, like in their studies of cryptos. Something's up with XRP. You might want to just have a bag just in case. Fetch, FET. FET is an AI protocol. Let me read their description here. It's on the Ethereum network. They're building a decentralized network with a utilization of a myriad of autonomous agents which can represent themselves, other individuals, or devices. So they're basically AI automation inside some of the processes where the blockchain integrates with the real world. It's a little out there. One guy. Some of these coins are coins that I've kind of followed someone or found somebody who does know does know something, does have alpha or information that is closer to the source of where it's coming from, and I trust them enough to be like, okay, let's catch it small. I've done very well with that one. I think that's a 3 or 4x so far. HBAR is another one which a lot of people say it's the better blockchain. It's small enough, the narrative's strong enough, there's enough real world utility that's being used on it that because I got it a long time ago, it's one of those ones where I catch them small and I ride them and I scalp on the way up. Veracity, they're doing some video streaming. They've got some good partnerships coming through. Also, another one I got really small. I look for those real, micro caps that are going to get more multiples. I'm not looking for wealth protection. I'm looking for wealth growth. What else we got? AVA, AVA. This one is a good long-term one. AVA. I've had this one it's one of the longest ones I've had, like almost 2 years now. It's basically a token which is for Traveler. Traveler is an Airbnb booking for hotels and flights. They are partnering, they're an ally of a new Airbnb alternative, which is called D-Travel. D-Travel is going to have a TRVL token. All AVA holders, all AVA holders are going to get TRVL airdrops. The TRVL token is going to be used as part of their DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization system, which they're going to run Airbnb. And we know that Airbnb hosts have been up in arms a little bit about how they're not being treated very nicely. Well, now they're going to have a say using the TRVL tokens to be able to influence the management decisions. How's that going to play out? We're going to see. Is is democratized voting a good thing? I think we're going to see a lot of ups and downs in this space, but for the most part, a lot of ups. So that's why I'm paying attention. Michael, yeah, on the demise of life afar, any thoughts on the long-term viability of preps that were spun out? Yeah, so I'm actually going to be going through a lot of those preps, as many as I can. Um, I I made promises to people that we were going to renovate these properties, furnish them, and administer them. And that third piece, that administer them, was what went wrong. There was a focus on funding new projects when we needed to be focusing on administering and getting the highest performing part of those projects. Now, the new management team that came in wanted to focus on the fundraising because that's where they created contracts that benefited themselves. So there was a lot of neglect towards some of the smaller original projects that many of the founding partners had put together. Now, all of the investors own the preps still. Like, I know there's been all types of misinformation out there. All the investors own the preps. They own the real estate. There was an interruption because of the pandemic, and then because when the board made a decision, or when they made a proposal which was denied, instead of continuing to work on that, they said, we're not going to manage those properties anymore. So there was an interruption in the management that should have been managed a whole lot better. Most of the preps are now under the management of Live Realty. I've introduced that a little bit on the video showing the Global Express Center. The Global Express Center, by the way, was another prep. So that one, is active and it's going. Most of the Cartagena, Bogota, Medellin preps, they're all, I would say the majority are actually doing better now than pre-pandemic. So things are looking good. I mean, we're seeing a lot of pent-up demand of people who wanted to come into Colombia. We've seen we've seen hotels struggle more and more people move into Airbnbs. We're traveling slower now. We're not traveling, week in, week out, few days in, few days out. We're traveling a couple weeks. We're traveling 3-4 weeks. We're seeing a lot of people say, I want to stay in Medellin for a few months. So a lot of the Airbnb properties are doing really well. And I think the least I can do, from my position, is to give as much exposure to those projects as possible. And as I go around, I'm going to be doing that where I can. They have new, each prep has new legal reps, has a new property manager. So there's a lot to update in that arena. But the good news is they're doing well and they're cash flowing. So real estate survives some tough situations. Miguel, real estate crowdfunding in Colombia. Been there, done that. Challenges when you've got a lot of people who want to influence the project. It gets complicated. A lot of cooks in the kitchen. That's why there was a case to be made. Let's not do the smaller tier investor. Let's focus on larger projects, giving the investors less influence in the projects. That's where that kind of stuff arises. Crowdfunding is great as long as everyone's on board. And I think moving forward, I think the key piece is everyone's got to have skin in the game. If you don't have skin in the game, things go wrong. So I would say that's key. That's kind of why I like these crypto investors that I'll be getting into. I'm going to be very transparent about what I'm getting into, what skin I've got in the game, and sharing as we go. Manifold finance. There's no shortage of opportunities out here, eh? The question is going to be which ones. Fold, $17, up 70%. It's up 70%. Since when? Since 24 hours ago? Are you serious? It's nuts, eh? Where do you see that? Okay, so it's been on a wild ride for the last year, up and down. See a lot of ups and down here. Okay, something to look at here. Okay, what's up, Paul? Mazarin, up north. Tether minted 1 billion USDT. BTC pumping again. Graham, I would be very wary for this month, September 2021. There's a very strong possibility of a black swan event, such as a black swan landing in Tiananmen Square, perhaps. Was that the black swan event? When we all anticipate something, does it ever happen? I know for the last decade, everyone's been really wary of bubbles. Everyone's been really wary of something, of like, and when that happens, I think it also it delays the event. When everyone's, and then as we're all wary of like, okay, buy the dip, as everyone's becoming, okay, we know that these corrections happen, and when dips happen, you buy. That's avoiding these corrections to happen. How this is all unfolding is fascinating to watch. Black Swan event. What? No internet? No electricity? 10-day blackout? Maybe? Could happen. We need multiple internet. We need multiple energy grids. The iPhone 13 is apparently going to have satellite internet in case any type of in case our cell phone or fiber optics, apparently a solar flare could wipe out our cables at the bottom of the ocean. That would take months, if not years, to fix. Imagine no internet. That's kind of why the old schoolness of Colombia may be an advantage. The more we become dependent on the digital, the more we need to be less dependent on the digital, right? Like let's have a fail-safe in our society that will get food and healthcare delivered in a situation where there is no electricity. Let's make sure we have fuel where we need it. Let's make sure we have these systems in place. Axi Infinity, big NFT market. Just saw an ad coming up. Our business based on that. What can you do? You can get your Axi painted on this stuff. It was like like you can get your Axi, like your Axi, right? You can get it displayed on some physical items, custom made. So not only are these main industries happening, it's the digital abundance, people. Let's go. What do you think of satellite internet if you're living outside the city? The current options for satellite internet, primarily Hughes internet, sucks balls. I've tried to use it. It was easier getting I got Virgin mobile data, and I was paying like $20 a month for like 80 gigs or something, and that's how I was doing my live streams on the Finca last year. Once we've got Starlink, it's going to be what, $3,000 for a unit, I think, to start. It's going to be fairly big. But once that happens, how does our civilization change? We've seen over the past 50 years, we're all urbanizing. Everyone's moving to the cities. Why? Because there's opportunity there. Wherever there's internet, we see huge abundance. We see development. We see education. What happens when we have internet everywhere? When a town which hasn't had internet gets a Starlink satellite, and then it gets routed to the entire town. We're going to see conjuntos. We're going to see, I think there's going to be a lot of crowd sharing in these first kind of stages of satellite internet. I think it's exactly what we need right now. But then we also need to be wary, like, okay, this is going to allow us to spread out a little bit more because we've been centralizing. But we want to have less environmental impact, right? Well, cities have less environmental impact if they're done right. If we spread out everywhere right now, because we can get internet everywhere, it actually has more of a damaging effect on the environment. So we need to be aware of what we're doing here, and how we integrate into rural living on a mass scale. Unprecedented times. Fun to explore, though. Definitely going to be an area of interest. Because yeah, like as we go more into this digital, I want to go in. I want to connect, plug in, connect to this abundance, and I want to plug out, and I want to be in beautiful nature, and I want to be, present in that nature. And so, given the choice, if you have great internet, we're going to see a lot of people start leaving the cities. It's already happening. Martian, any pointers in crypto? Thanks. Yeah, man. Jump in my digital abundance Telegram chat. It's in my link in bio, sammiller.life. There's a digital abundance crypto chat. Jump in there. Like I'm not selling anything. It's just we're all kind of figuring this out and kind of sharing everything, sharing alpha, man, sharing info. Primarily, I'll share what I'm looking for in this digital world. I'm looking for a passive cash flow digital asset. So far, at the top of the list is staking Hex. If anyone's got a better passive income generating crypto, let me know. I've done Mirror Protocol. I've done in terms of what else did I do? Did some AVAX, did some there's one more. What was the other one? Well, there's it's like the majority of people aren't entering crypto because there's so much to learn and they don't have time and they don't know where to start, and technology is intimidating. What I'm trying to sift through is the most simple system that someone can partake to at least get exposure to the growth in this world. And so what I'm looking for, like this kind of trading that I'm getting into right now, that's a bit more active. That's like, identifying, trading, swing trading, scalping profits, blah, blah, blah. That's good for a more aggressive strategy. What I'm truly looking for is a passive cash flow digital asset. At the moment, that's been Hex. Oh, Algo is another one that I've been doing, been staking that one. Yeah, there's a couple more, but yeah. Maximum 4,000. Oh, helium miner. Yeah, I just need a place to put it with some heavy traffic. What's up, Jeff? Do you think that private property will continue well in this new communism world order? It's worth a shot. It's worth having some property under your name. Yeah. The more land, the better. What is their motto? You will own nothing and you will be happy. And in some ways that sounds nice, right? Like you'll own nothing, nothing to worry about. But they're saying that because they just want to continue owning more and more. They don't want you to own. They want you to just live free. Go out and rent. Just rent Airbnbs for the rest of your life. Leave the land, leave the real estate to us. Travis, thoughts on oceanfront condo real estate regarding return? Well, your return is going to depend on how much you can rent it for, your occupancy rates. Does the building allow short-term rentals? Oceanfront, I assume you're talking like Beijo Horizonte or something like that. Unless you're in the in Centro and just south of Central near the Marriott there. there's some interesting spots there. I'm very bullish on Santa Marta in general. It is becoming the base camp to all of the adventures to the east. Um, like where like that whole area rivals, I think, a lot of the very popular Mexico tourism. Your Cancun, your cenotes, your kind of, a bit of freshwater, saltwater, ancient ruins, like some history, culture, beach, party, like Santa Marta. You get your Minca, you get your Palomino, you get your Tirona, you get the Lost City, you get the snow-capped mountain caps, you get the like Guajira, the kite surfing. There's so much going for that part, and so Santa Marta is like the last really civilized. Rio Hacha is another. It's going places. Rio Hacha, I think, is going to be the just as Santa Marta had a strata 4, 5, and 6 boom in the 80s and 90s and into the 2000s. And then it kind of cooled off the last like 10, 20 years in Santa Marta until the last few years. Santa Marta was kind of off the radar a lot of local investors. Now it's certainly catching on. But I think Rio Hacha is going to get a lot of the increasing the strata 3 and strata 4 demographics in Bogota, Medellin, as they have some extra income as the economy grows. I think they're going to be looking at Rio Hacha because it's got a swimmable beach, nice esplanade, flights in and out. Cartagena is super expensive and a little, it's Cartagena. Santa Marta is getting that way. So Rio Hacha is going to be next on the radar. So yeah, I've been to Huila. Should get my own cryptocurrency for digital nomads. I don't know, maybe. It's all copy and pasteable, right? Now that you can copy and paste crypto, that means you can copy and paste businesses, which means that businesses can be replicated, which means that the real value of a business is like the brand loyalty, the network. That's something I'm going to be really focusing on. I've done some coaching with people, like how to grow their presence online, because at the end of the day, the value of these coins are based on the size of their network, how many people know about that coin. And because so many of these things are growing, because when you get 5,000 people who buy your coin, all of those 5,000 people become shills for you, in a good way or a bad way. Depends if the coin is a good or bad coin, right? But it's the network effect, which is truly kind of determining how successful, how these coins grow. There's some connection to real world utility and value, but the big piece that I think I can add value to commenting on this space is these stories that these coins are telling, and how believable they are, and then how they activate thousands of people to spread that story. How they use memes and you see memes from all these coins. Memes are the most efficient way to spread these stories. If you see a meme that explains a crypto to you, that's going to spread way further than a white paper, which so few people are going to read. But you read a meme or you see a meme, and in a few seconds you understand what that crypto does. All of a sudden, you've got thousands of new people buying your coin and increasing the value of your assets. Whereas if you're like, oh, read my white paper, it's not going anywhere. So meme speak and how narratives spread is going to be a big theme of my content moving forward. Un abrazo, Camilo. Oh, Starlink is $500. Okay. Yeah, last I heard it was like $2,000. $500 and $100 a month. That's easier and easier. I've heard they have 100,000 people on the network right now, and that if you're rural, it's going to be better internet. So it's going to be way more suited to people in fincas, for example. Like every finca is gonna, any self-respecting finca is going to get its own Starlink, right? Thanks for trying. Who controls the bubble? Central bank, IMF. Also, urbanization is an Agenda 21, Agenda 30. Sustainable development, land rights. Um, there's a lot to that. Lot to that comment there. Who can? I don't know. Who controls the Fed? Who controls the Fed? Who owns the money printers? Who are they friends with? Who do they hang out on fincas with? I don't know. That's where the answers are. I don't think we can. I don't think we see them. Anyone we see in public, no. Real power conceals. If you have the power to print money, you don't get on a news station. No, you've got people who do that for you, who speak on your behalf, who speak your agenda into being. You have an affiliate marketing team. You have a mainstream affiliate marketing team, and you have people in the government who make the rules for you. Leonardo, don't underestimate BSV. Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. I looked into that one. A friend was all in on BSV. I'm like, maybe that guy. He's got a lot of patents, and patents might be the long game. He can defend some territory with some patents. It had some good growth. Everyone's got to realize, like, Bitcoin was invented to become a peerless cash payment system, but right now it's being used as gold. It's not doing what it was designed to do. I get, like, it. I still think it has value. I still think everyone is going to want to own Bitcoin, just like I think everyone will want to own Dogecoin, because it's a funny joke that everyone wants to be a part of. And when you own a bit of Dogecoin, you own a bit of the joke, right? Same thing with Bitcoin. It has value if we believe it has value. There's only 21 million of them. You'll have your every self-respecting millionaire is gonna want to have a Bitcoin to fit in, right? To not miss out, to be in the club. Think about I was just saying, now that you can copy and paste these things, right? So BSV, they copy and pasted Bitcoin essentially, and then changed the things that they that were wrong with it to make a better version. And that's constantly going to happen. People are going to copy and paste BSV and make it better, and then it'll be Bitcoin Satoshi Vision 2.0. That's why I think NFTs, art, unique, non-fungible art, is booming right now, because I think a lot of people are recognizing that, okay, businesses are at super risk of just being copied, but art, you can't copy it. Like, that's like, if you don't get NFTs right now, think about that. Like, you can copy and paste these blockchains, but art, you can't. There's only going to be one of a kind of these pieces. It's created scarcity in a world of infinite leverage. That's the key thing to understand with this NFTs. Like, it's given this space a way to create scarcity, uniqueness, and ownership in a place which was infinitely leverageable. MC, how successful am I in real estate? Good question. In real estate, I've been part of a very successful team. I grew a brokerage, a real estate brokerage, from a few people. I merged that into a larger brokerage with 40 people, and I was on the marketing team to build that company and raised tens of millions of dollars for various projects. I've seen inside a lot of different real estate deals. I've been a part of a real estate investment firm, and that turned into a real estate investment firm with 120 people in it. Is that success? I don't know. I think my success should be based on my magnificent real estate portfolio that I've built. Because I started from scratch, I was like, I'm going to help other people build theirs so I can build my capital to build my real estate portfolio. That didn't happen. I made a lot of other people rich, but I didn't end up building my own portfolio. Our company had various stakes in various real estate deals, which I was focused on doing. But there are growing pains, and the management of the company that I built was hijacked, basically. And yeah, so I'm starting from scratch in a lot of ways, and I've learned an incredible amount. That's going to be invaluable for the next this next phase. Staking during a bull market seems kind of risky. Why would this cycle be different? Okay, imagine what you consider what the top is, has hit, but you can't sell because of stakes. Great question. Okay, so in a correction, what happens? And we saw this in April, recently, we saw things going down and everyone's like, oh no, it's just a dip, it's just a correction. But no, it was a pretty deep correction. The illiquidity of staking HEX, had meant that even when a lot of the coins were going down, it was growing, because the contract that you make with HEX when you stake HEX is that you tell the contract, I'm not going to touch this amount of money for X amount of time, and if you don't do that, then you lose money. You get a penalty. You're accepting penalties for not fulfilling your term that you're depositing your HEX for. So what that means, during a correction, no one's selling. Well, some people are selling because they're like, they're freaking out. But the majority of people who have made these contracts with HEX on the Ethereum blockchain don't sell. And so that's actually, for me, that's going to be part of my profit scalping strategy, is staking in HEX in particular. Because it's a super long thing. You can do a maximum stake on HEX 15 years. There's $22 billion staked with HEX right now for an average of 6 years. If that 22 billion with let's say like $1 billion on a 6-year stake, if they haven't served half of that deposit, they lose all of it. So that money is staying there. So people are buying more than they're selling. So, yeah, but I get what you mean. Like you wanna stay nimble, right? But there's so many of these coins where if you're swing trading like this, people take it out so quick. That's why it's not a great passive income, right? So that's why there's a huge amount of long-term interest to stake in HEX. Do I use trading bots? I've experimented with KuCoin. It was okay. It worked in an up market. I was doing better swing trading than with the trading bots. So that's where I'm getting my 2x, 3x multiples by every couple of weeks, checking in, switching over to coins that I see have potential, big growth. Gabrielle, my website is sammiller.life. I'm putting all my links there. I'm in real estate. I'm in crypto. I'm in growing presence online. Content creation. I've been doing some private coaching with that. The way that the crypto space interacts with the attention economy, that's really, really interesting to me right now. Because what's happening right now? Like let's say HEX has a meme, Cardano, Solana. As more of us know about this, as those brands enter our brain, the value of that brand, the value of that crypto increases, because the network has increased, and eventually, once you know about, I want to buy some crypto, about Solana, it's branded in your mind, and you invest in that one. So being conscious of how our attention and our collective attention, now that Solana has millions of people's of attention, that blockchain can be super successful based on having got a lot of attention. It's the same product it was, a few weeks ago, and now it's had a massive run up, and now it knows a bunch of people. So its potential value is exponential now because it can build out its entire ecosystem, and so the next one along right now, there are tens of thousands of these things waiting on the sidelines, vying for attention. And should they get that attention, game changing and world changing, because what we're going to see is we're going to see more of these cryptos that are very integrated in our physical world. Like someone mentioned the dog NFTs, dogs unchained, right? I assume that there's some type of a charitable connection to this. So dogs are getting adopted based on the NFT, dogs unchained, based on these NFTs. So the ability for the people who are involved in this NFT collection, their ability to save more dogs is now determined by their ability to expand their network in the attention economy. The more attention they get, the more dogs they're saving. And that's just the beginning. Like, we're going to see trees being planted. We're going to see communities being started on the back of these tokens. This is how the future of our civilization gets redefined by this stuff. So that's where I'm going. Does that make sense? I know this stuff is really out there for a lot of people, but I know that a lot of my audience is like older, like 30 plus. They're less digitally savvy some of the time. So I'm really trying to bridge information here from things that I can see so that we can perceive this, because we need to understand, and the better we can understand this, we can see opportunities, we can liberate our lifestyles truly, as I've done over the past year, living pretty much off of this information. How are Venezuelans doing? A lot coming in. They're hard working, they're hustling. Some of them are begging. You do see a bit more of that on the street. They've gotten permits. I'm working with a videographer for one from Venezuela. There's it's more of the same persistence and resilience that and struggle that you see in Colombia. It's more of the same. So are the Bogota Bulldogs that you played for still a team? Yes, they have trainings on Saturdays. The best way is to find on Facebook the Bogota Bulldogs and send a message there. There's a WhatsApp group. Trainings every Saturday. Rumors that Medellin Tigers might be making a challenge for the Colombian Australian rules football championship. We'll see. Where am I? Where is an up-and-coming area in Medellin that you think is a good investment for capital gains? For capital gains in Medellin, I'm getting to know Medellin, but for now, I'll say Belen. I'll say Jardines de Belen, which is kind of up on the other side, 15 minutes to Poblado. I'll say Buenos Aires. I'll say kind of Los Lomas up into Las Palmas. I think Los Lomas is the next Provenza. You heard it here first. Los Lomas. Above the 34, north of the 10. And La Estrella to the south. We're seeing Envigado Sarneta pop off right now. Next step, La Estrella. Leonardo Telegram group is called Digital Abundance Chat Group. When you go to sammiller.life, look for the Telegram Digital Abundance Chat Group. A lot of stuff going on there. That's the way to do it. The exponential meme could be the new narrative. The exponential meme. A successful meme. What makes a successful meme? Meme means that it's being remixed. It means that we're becoming part of an idea. Like, that's how it spreads. We want to share a part of ourselves. This isn't just about sharing other people's memes. This is about integrating our own self into these memes. Um, they evolve as they go. These are ideas that mutate and evolve as they go on, and we're seeing that with the this NFTs thing, right? Like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and now there's the Mutant Apes, and all these memes are starting to kind of remix. How that plays out, I don't know. We'll see. It's clear, it's concise, it's how we spread a story the farthest and the quickest and the most concisely. I will be moving a lot of my content into vertical, into YouTube Shorts. By the way, thanks for tuning in. We just hit an hour. I think I've got a rappy downstairs. Thanks for tuning in. Things are just getting warmed up. Like, there is so much opportunity. I've been overwhelmed by opportunity. I want to share as much opportunity as I can. Things are actually pretty awesome on this planet if we weren't all indoctrinated with fear at the moment. I think we've got bigger things to worry about that could be shaping our civilization in a much better way, instead of transforming it into an agenda that it doesn't serve us. And I think a lot of the answers to our liberation lies in the financial system that we can create in our pocket, in the way that we can use these devices as tools to spread more healthy agendas than the one that is being affiliate marketed to us. Don't mean to get too deep into that rabbit hole. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next one.